Hey, what's going on, people? This is Rolo C along with my man here. Who's it here, baby? Who is it?
JT.
That's right, JT, and this is the Stem Cell Podcast, and we're on to our entertainment section and music section, and we actually wanted to bring up the fact that Lil Wayne released the Carter 5, the long-awaited album of the Carter 5, and it released on Friday, September 28th, and it's his first studio album not released under Cash Money Records. Now, he took about a 5 year period to actually record this album, and it was originally slated to be released back in 2014, but obviously he had issues with Birdman, aka Brian Baby Williams, and the two actually ended up going through a riff, and eventually they ended up parting ways. So he ended up releasing this thing under I believe it's under Republic and Universal, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, the whole ordeal between Lil Wayne and Birdman from Cash Money is a very ugly situation. It's no surprise that it actually happened. Birdman has fucked over every fucking artist that he's ever had, including producer Manny Fresh, which was the one who created the signature sound of Cash Money Records. And he's just been a greedy dude. But you know what? That goes to show you that it's no different than any other guy who's your lead man and is a mogul at the same time. I mean, Ludacris has fucked over fucking members of DTP. Shout out to 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz doing his thing now. But it goes to show you that they were close homeboys. They went to school together. And he fucked Titty Boy out of money too. No different with... hell, damn, there's way too many people to even mention. I'm not even going to get on it right now. But basically what it comes down to it is if you're with a rapper slash CEO and you're expecting to have a lucrative deal and actually make things happen, it's not going to fucking happen for you, because not only are they still trying to catapult their career as an artist, but at the same time, they still got the CEO mindset. They're like, okay, what can I do to cut corners to actually keep my money? So, one of the questions that we've asked is, do we think Lil Wayne's going to be successful and do what he needs to do in reference to pushing the Carter 5 and not having the Cash Money machine behind him? And I think the answer is no, because to be quite honest with you, they had a very tight relationship, him and Birdman. But the thing that's very disturbing about the whole ordeal is that they had this father and son relationship, and evidently father then got pissed off at son, and they parted ways, and son ended up suing father, and he ended up getting a multi-million-dollar settlement from Cash Money, and that situation is kind of bitter. So people think that situation is squashed and it's over with, and to be honest with you, it isn't, because no man likes to especially a man that's in a position of power, likes to lose, in any case, especially a court case that he had to give up millions of dollars and forfeit millions of dollars for, although that was money that, Lil Wayne actually deserved and earned. And he was just basically just getting ripped off just like every other artist. I mean, Juvie had a problem with Buddy from Cash Money, with Birdman. Several other artists too that have dealt with Birdman in the past have talked about how he was just taking their money. And the music game, it's a very dirty business. If you don't know what you're doing, you'll realize you're getting screwed out of many percentages. Like there's a 200%, there's a 200% publishing. There's two types of publishing that you go into, and this is just in a business aspect, especially if you're a songwriter. You normally forfeit, on a normal, occasion, you forfeit 100%, because it's 200% when it comes to the actual publishing rights. So when you forfeit 100% of your publishing rights to the record company, you're still entitled to the other 100%, which actually is kind of like a half and half type deal, especially if you're a songwriter. But what happens is that a lot of these kids now, they don't have this knowledge of, wow, I'm supposed to get 100% of this publishing over here because I wrote this song. So I think that's the reason why hip hop has really geared themselves toward picking up teenagers and young kids, because not only do they want to cater to that demographic, but they know there's no business savviness to a lot of these kids. And if you tell the kid, oh yeah, we're going to sign you to a $2 million deal, and they're just happy as hell because, oh man, they're coming out the hood. 60 G sounds good to a kid coming out of the projects. You know what I'm saying? Let alone $2 million, which obviously they have to recoup all that money anyway. They're going to give you that advance, but it has to be paid back in reference to record sales. If not, they drop your ass and you never put out another album, even if you even get to the process of actually selling the album. Because if it looks like a bad investment, they just let it go overall. And next thing you know, you get whatever little money you had left, or it may put you in debt. So there's a lot of things that people don't know about the music industry, and that's just one of those things. And for Birdman to screw over every fucking artist he had, I mean, that's some unconstitutional shit. Like, you shouldn't do that. These are people that are supposed to be your business partners. But I get it. I mean, I know you own Cash Money Records, but at the same time, these are people that are lifting you up. Give them a platform. If they decide to grow up and do their own thing, that's fine. But the whole thing about the whole ordeal is that he's just a dirty fucking businessman. And I don't want to lose sight on the Carter 5. I heard a couple of tracks from the Carter 5. I'm going to bring up this song called Uproar. I forwarded it to JT yesterday. And I straight up told him this on the message. After I sent that, I said, they used a G-Dep sample from Special Delivery back in 2001 off of the Child of the Ghetto album that G-Dep put. I know a lot of you people that probably listening to this probably weren't even born in 2001, or if you are, you were a very young cat, so you don't know. But if you look up G-Dep, Child of the Ghetto, that was the name of the album, you could actually YouTube the song Special Delivery. You'll see Diddy screaming all over the damn track. Well, that's where this song Uproar was sampled from. And the beat who made that beat back in the day? I think it was Clark Kent, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I can't really recall who made that beat.
I don't remember who made that beat. It might have been. I'm not sure. I knew it was somebody from the Hitmen might have made it, but that was from Diddy's.
Impossible.
Yeah, that was from Diddy's production company. Could have been D Dot. It could have been anybody, but it was a hot beat when they made it. I mean, G-Dep didn't come through on it. He can't rap worth the shit. That's why we call him G-Dep. Garbage department, G-Dep for short. That's not what it stands for, but that's what we refer to him as, the garbage department. So, shout out to G-Dep. He's doing a bid for a murder he committed back in I think 2002, and got convicted in 2010 because he felt guilty about it and decided to turn himself in. Very honorable, of course. But, it just goes to show you where he's at right now. Well, anyway, the song Uproar was sampled from Special Delivery from G-Dep. And not only did Wayne not come through on the song, but Swiss Beats did a fucking horrible job producing it. The drum pattern sucks. The sample is cool. You could ride the sample, but he didn't even do the drums any justice, because what it was that he said, okay, I'm riding this sample. I want to have that signature, Swiss beat, beat knock to it. And it sucked. It was fucking garbage. Now, he did a song with Lil Wayne, not too long ago called Pistol on My Side. Now, that beat is hot. And the song is okay, It's not too bad. Of course, that's not on the Carter 5 album. But that was a good song. So when I seen, Lil Wayne featuring Swiss Beats, I was like, oh, okay, it might be like the Pistol on My Side joint. So I listened to it, and that shit was trash. It was fucking garbage. I was like, wow. I said, not only does Lil Wayne not come through on this track, but Swiss, in typical fashion, fucks up the beat by trying to do way too much. Fucking sucks. So that shit just baffled me, because I'm like, wow. And it goes to show you why they don't mess with so-called super producers anymore, and they get some little asshole. They throw in 5 Gs, making this little simple ass trap beat on a program like Fruity Loops, and they're good to go. because he tries to do all this shit, working with the damn Akai MPC 3000, and he's like the monster, and he thinks he's going off, and it's like, my dude, that beat sucks, straight up. So anyway, Uproar was trash. The Carter 5, put it this way. Uproar was the first impression of the Carter 5, and it was a very bad impression. You know what they say about bad impressions? Once you get a bad first impression from somebody, you just never fuck with them again. After that, I was like, la 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 la. This is bullshit. La 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 la. It fucking sucked. Anyway, what's your take on the Carter 5, buddy?
All right. I mean, as far as it's going, the album, the Carter 5 itself, I mean, some of the beats are good.
Except that beat.
Yeah, we can go. And there's a few other beats that I wouldn't recommend either on that album. But, and this is I'm going to give you an overall take of Lil Wayne as well. All right. He's a good, he good with rhyming, you know what I'm saying? He know how to rap. What I'm saying is, like, he put the words together, he make it sound good. Okay. All right. Now, do I like Lil Wayne? Absolutely not. Do I think the Carter 5 is hot? Absolutely not. If anything, for me, like, I think it's like, to me, one of the better albums is like the Carter 2, and I'm not even putting it close to that. But this is the new type of,
the Carter 2 was hot.
Mumble rap.
The Carter 2 was his best album, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel the same way. So, it's not anything close to that. It seemed like it only got worse from that point on, in my opinion. So, here's my thing with Lil Wayne, though. Like, people might say he's the GOAT because, he rhymes good, he get album sales, whatever. I mean, he probably don't get a lot these days because albums just don't sell like that. But what it is with Lil Wayne, man, I don't vibe with Lil Wayne because he don't bring substance to the rap game. I mean, to me, he just pretty much like every other mumble rapper that's mainstream out there. Like, how can Lil Wayne make me better? How can he motivate me as a person? And I just don't get that from Lil Wayne's music. So that's why I don't. The only reason I even listen to the Carter 5 is because I know my man decided that he was going to put this as a topic for the podcast. But other than that, I probably wouldn't have listened to it like that unless some singles came on the radio. I've been, bumping in, they ride when they come near me, whatever. But other than that, I wouldn't go listening to it for myself because I'm just far distant from Lil Wayne and the mumble rappers that's out here. So that's basically my opinion on that. Good luck to the guy, but I just don't see it getting any better because music is going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, I totally agree. The thing that disappoints me the most is that Lil Wayne's one of my favorite rappers. That's the thing that disappoints me the most, is that he's definitely one of my favorite rappers. And when it came out with the Carter 2, because the Carter was okay, the first joint, came back out in 03 and 04. Like,
right.
Was straight. Then when he came out with the Carter 2, like, dude, that shit, like, I'm gonna tell you what I kept on repeat. That dum 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 dum, money on my mind, money on my mind. Dude, when I heard that song, I was like, yo, this shit's hot. That was the joint the Runners produced. And I was like, damn, and they were killing shit back in the day. And I was like, dude, like, I wasn't even into the Fireman joint, to be quite honest with you, and that was his first single. Like, that Money on My Mind joint, I was like, wow, I said, this shit is killer right here. And that beat was so hot. And I remember at the time I was making beats, man, I was like, man, I want to make beats like the Runners. These motherfuckers are nasty. And that's why I used to kind of try to emulate the stuff that we used to make for us. And I used to be like, damn, I'm like, these dudes are sick, right? But that Money on My Mind joint was hot. And it seemed like when he came out with the Carter 3, it was like, that's when he dropped the Millie. So I was like, oh, okay. Then he came out with the Carter 4. He had the She Will on it with Drake. I was like, okay. Then he followed up, with the dedication mixtapes he was doing with Gangsta Grills. And it just got to a point where I was like, this dude's slipping big time. And I don't know if it's because of the business aspect of it that he wasn't focused anymore. But, that's basically how I felt about it. And ever since then, it's been like RIP to Lil Wayne for me. You know what I'm saying? Now you know the type of shit I'm on. I'm on Joyner Lucas and shit right now. I'm listening to all his shit. So, shout out to Massachusetts, baby. Hometown, you know what I'm saying? Lawrence right here, he's from Worcester.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah. But like you said, just with Lil Wayne, I think by the time he really got hit with the MK and all this other stuff, you know what I'm saying, it's draining down the quality of him personally and his music.
I think so. Well, anyway, that's pretty much the review of how we feel toward the Carter. I reviewed the one song and that was it. And then JT had a little bit more patience than I did, which traditionally he does. Because I really don't stand for too much bullshit. But he has a higher level of tolerance than I do. So he was able to check it out. And it wasn't, great either, But anyway, we'll be back with more of the Stem Cell Podcast. And stay tuned about what we had to say about Kanye West's his crazy ass. Right here on the Stem Cell Podcast, episode 6.